Good evening, friends. Dennis LaRue here, your Chief Inspiration Officer, your Chief Encouragement Officer, and my 2018 Word of the Year, your wingman, your weekly wingman. So, here it is, hashtag steeltoesrequired, quote of the week, episode 16. Wow, can you believe it's 16? And last week, in our time together, I said, hey guys, I need your help. Who would like to share their quotes with me? And if I choose one of yours, I will give you a shout out and use your quote. And you guys did not disappoint. You guys jumped right in and gave me all kinds of quotes. There were so many quotes, I had a hard time choosing from them, but I did find one. Hey, wingman, Amy, number 33, how are you? Patrick, good to see you. Shane, happy birthday, glad you're here. Matt, glad you're here as well. Chanel, I saw you there. Glad you're here too. And folks, so here's the quote. The quote came from a friend of mine. I consider this person a family member. I've known her since we were 2 years old. I won't say our age. 2 years old. She's like family to me. Her family and my family have been friends for years. And her name is Holly Bach-Grogeski. And her quote is just, I tell you what, it didn't just step on my toes. It turned them into Rice Krispies. It was snap, crackle, and pop. Are you guys ready for it? It's from the late, great Walt Disney. That's right. Walt Disney's bringing this to us. And if you've seen my profile on Facebook page, you've seen me standing next to a statue with Mickey Mouse. So here it is. Walt Disney said this. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Did you get that? Hey Chuck, what's going on? Stacy, did you get that? I'm gonna read it again. The way to get started is to quit talking and start doing. That's Walt Disney. Holly and I talked about this quote for a little bit, where it came from. You know, where did she get this quote? And she said when she read this quote online, there's Holly. Holly, I just gave you a shout out. We just shared the quote. You know what quote it is. Here it is. Again, I'm going to read it one more time because Holly's here. Walt Disney said the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Amy, that's right. Shut up and get to work, right? Exactly. But listen to this for a minute. When Holly and I were talking about this, she said this. When she read this quote, it made her realize that she's her worst enemy. And you know what? I said, whoa, wait a minute, Holly. And Holly, I'm saying right now, no, we are our own worst enemy. The number one enemy that keeps you from doing and accomplishing your dreams, goals, and your purpose and your vision is you, the person you look at in the mirror every single day. We are our own worst enemy. We sabotage ourselves so much, it isn't funny. If you could spend a day with me, or I could spend a day with you, I bet if we kept a little journal of every time we sabotage ourselves, we'd run out of pages. We would run out of room on a piece of paper easy. I know you would with me. I catch myself all the time with it. Just saying, loved it, Jamie. Thank you, Amy. And we are our own worst enemy because, you know, when we think about it, we do a lot of talking. We do a lot of planning. We do a lot of networking. We do a lot of things sometimes. But when it's time to actually put feet on the street, man, we don't even get out the front door. Or sometimes we struggle with mattress victory. We can't even get out of bed to go do what we need to do. Whatever that is that you struggle with. So besides the enemy of ourselves, let's look at some other enemies to taking action. The first thing is your mindset. Besides yourself, now physically, how do we do that? How do we sabotage ourselves? It starts with how we think. Our mindset. Because you may have the greatest goal on the piece of paper, but if you don't think you can accomplish it, you're not going to. It's game over. It could be the greatest thing ever, but if you don't believe you can do it, you won't. You won't take action on it. That's right. How we think. Here's a formula that I use with regarding to action. It's real simple. First, it starts with a thought. Everything starts with a thought. That thought mixed with belief, emotion, belief and emotion. You've got to have belief. Those thoughts lead to beliefs. And those beliefs become next action. Action over time becomes habit. And habits over time become your circumstance and your character and ultimately your dream accomplishment. Good thoughts lead to positive belief. Positive belief leads to good action. Good action leads to good habits. Good habits lead to good character, good circumstances, and dream results. There it is. It's real simple. You don't believe me? I was just reading a verse in the Bible recently. It said the exact same thing. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Or Ecclesiastes 10:2. Here's one. This is from the Message. It says, wise thinking leads to right living, and stupid thinking leads to, well, wrong living. It's that simple. It's that simple. And it starts with that mindset. So besides being your ultimate enemy within yourself, it starts with your mind first. Second, insecurities and fear. Oh my. Think about that for a minute. Insecurities and fear. Hi, Mom and Dad. Glad you're here. Excuse me there for a moment. Dry throat. So, insecurities and fear. Now here it is. You've got the dream identified. You are ready to go. And then all of a sudden, the gremlin pops up on your shoulder. And it's not Jiminy Cricket and Pinocchio. The gremlin gets on your shoulder, and what does it do? It says, who are you to think you can do this? Are you kidding me? You think you can do this? Why are you even attempting this? You know you're going to fail. You know your previous track record is you give up. You know your track record says you're never, ever going to accomplish it. There it is. And then what happens? Fear starts to rise. Insecurity starts to rise. And you don't start doing. Just today, the great tennis player Roger Federer won his 20th Grand Slam final and his 6th Australian Open championship. He's in his 40s. Generally, tennis players in their 40s are announcers. They're not playing the game anymore. Very few do. And here, Roger Federer is getting it done. He won again. But it took him 5 sets. And where I'm going with this is in the 4th set. As he shared with ESPN and interviewers afterwards, he lost the 4th set, 6-3. He got clobbered. He looked awful. And he said this. This is a quote. He said, I kept telling myself, don't mess up. He said that the entire set, don't mess up. And guess what happened? He messed up. He was feeding his brain with don't do this, and his brain kept doing it. And it became insecure. There was fear. There was doubt. He didn't want to lose. He was playing not to win. He was playing not to lose at that point. And even the announcer said it's the worst he looked the entire match. He looked his age. He looked slow. He was playing cautious. And guess what? He ended up winning. He pulled it out. But that bad set just reminds you that insecurities and fear prevents victory. It's going to prevent you from taking action. So, we've already said your mindset is one enemy to taking action. Your second is insecurities and fears. And your third, this one's going to step on several people's toes, including my own. The perfect plan is your third enemy. Notice I didn't say just plan, but the perfect plan. There are many people who have to have 100% of the plan in place before they take one step forward. Guess what? There is no such thing. If you're waiting for 100% plan before you act, you will never take action. Period. You won't. Now, myself, Rob, Amy, we're military members. We have to have a plan. You just don't go out the front door in battle with no plan. It just doesn't happen. There is a plan. But here, I learned this in my Air Force career. Proper planning takes poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. I didn't say, notice, perfect planning. Just proper planning. Planning is important. Perfect planning is not possible. And many of us will hide behind, well, my plan isn't perfect, before we take action. You have to take action. You have to take the action. Because when you take the action, it's going to show you where your plans are misaligned, where there are holes in your thinking, and things you need to shore up. That's why you take action. The perfect plan, you're never going to get offshore. It's a boat that'll never leave shore. So there you have it. Those are the three mindsets. These are the three things that are enemies for taking action. I'll go over them again because I saw Trudy jump in. Here they are. Enemies for action. Number one, your mindset. You got to have the right mindset. You are your worst enemy. As a matter of fact, in the movie Creed, the latest installment in the Rocky series, Rocky trains Creed, and he takes Creed to these mirrors. Like, you know, when you go to the gym, you got the big long mirror where where you can watch your muscles in action. In this case, Rocky points to the mirror and he says, look here. You see that guy right there? That's your greatest enemy. What he was trying to say is, you are your worst enemy. It's you against you. So that was number one. Number one is your mindset. Number two, insecurity and fear. Oh my. The insecurity and fear gremlins that sit on your shoulders constantly telling you you can't do it. You know what? Yes, you can. You can do it. You are willing. Are you willing to do it? Those guys right there, if you listen to them long enough, you'll never get out there. You won't get out of bed, let alone get out the door and take action on your dreams and on your goals. And then finally, the last one is waiting until you have the perfect plan. Folks, perfect plan, it's not going to happen. Get out there and execute a plan, get a plan, and then make the adjustments. And when you put together the plan that you accomplish your goals, mentor people along the way to help you. Help them. Make sense? All right, so there it is. Here's your action step. Here is your action step. What good is the information and education without action and execution? Here's your action step right here. Look at your dream. Look at your why, what you're doing. Okay? Identify the lowest common denominators in your plan. When you've done that, here's what you need to do. Which one of those scares you the most? What area scares you the most about your dream and fulfilling it? Because you know what? That's your action step for this week. To take action in that area where you're feeling insecure and fear. Take action right there. That's where you're going to go this week. You're going to feel the fear, as I've heard it said, and you're going to do it anyway. You're going to take that first step, and you're going to do it in faith, and you're going to do it, and you're going to execute. You may not, and this is your dream, so it may not be completed this week, but it certainly won't be completed this week if you don't act on what you're scared of the most. Make sense? You got to take that step. So there is your action step. So Holly, thank you so much for a great quote. I mean, as I was sharing with you when we were chatting, that punched me in the face. It was a good one. This is a great quote. And so now, folks, as we get ready to wrap this up, I want to keep this going. So I'll start another page and throw me your quotes. Give me your quotes, and we'll do it again. We'll do this again, and I'll pick one. If one really jumps out at me, I'm going to choose it and let you know. give you a shout out, and you'll be the producer for the hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week. Now, it wouldn't be our quote of the week ending without my favorite ending, our blessing. And oh, by the way, I see that next week is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm still going to be here, okay? Patriots, Eagles, halftime. If you want to watch a halftime show, go ahead. Hopefully the halftime show will happen with me right here. So I'm going to be right here. You can catch me live, or you can catch me Monday, as some of you have already said. So here we go. Here we go. The blessing. I pray the blessing of bread that you'll know no hunger. I pray also the blessing of salt, that your life will be flavorful and you will be flavorful to others. I pray the blessing of wine, that there would be joy and prosperity in your life. And I pray the blessing of God's love, that it would be your portion this week. Thank you so much for joining me this week. This is Dennis LaRue saying thank you so much. Hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week. Our quote one more time as we close is this. Walt Disney said, "The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing." So it's time for me to quit talking and time for us to start doing. Have a great week.